Now, we carried it this morning, the 6 o'clock bulletin. Also, yesterday, we brought you that story. And just give me a minute. I saw it not so long ago. Yeah. Long queues have surfaced at cooking gas plants across Port Harcourt following a scarcity of the product, which has led to an increase in price of the available product. Our correspondent who monitored some cooking gas plants around Ada George, Rumosi and Ubirikwere reports that some of the cooking gas plants do not have the product. Some of the cooking gas vendors blame the hike in price on the 2-day warning strike by the NLC. Interesting. Others blamed it on the crisis within the association. All right, let's take a listen to some of them who spoke to our correspondent.
Since 4 days ago now, we are buying 840. Like this one, I just go this side, buy 800. Yesterday, I say 900 package. Yeah, because I buy 840, say 900.
Whenever if dollar increase, you go here say gas don't increase, But this are where gas increase now. I don't know what will be the cost of the increments.
Nowhere to see a single gas, no matter any price, nowhere. They say either they on strike, they don't call up the strike. We don't know the reason why gas no dey anywhere. It affecting me because all my customers is coming nowhere to see gas and attend them. Everything they high. They affecting us well.
Now let's listen to some customers as also the spoke to our correspondent.
Normally, we normally feed gas with about 9,600 naira for 12.5 kg now. Yesterday, they filled with 10,600 naira. When you compare the difference, it's about 8,000 naira. You know what 8,000 naira means to every family?
This is the third place I've got to now, and I've not seen gas. I go to first place, second place is closed. So he's the only one that open here now, but he said he don't have gas. I have to go to the first station to check if I can get gas.
Don't go like how many places since morning. I no fit see gas buy. Price where they call for me, they say na 950.
Yesterday I go gas plant. People food there, they never for space. 1 kg na 800. Before I'm been there for 6 something. So the gas just they top every day.
All right, so we've had different prices to a kg of gas, we've heard 800, we've heard 850, we've heard 900, 950, different prices from the people that were interviewed, both consumers and vendors of the product. However, they talk about not knowing the reason why there is scarcity. I don't know. I might beg to differ. Could it be that to a large extent there is a higher demand for the product, and given the Nigerian nature, I'm just asking, what I'm thinking. Could it be that's the reason? Because I do hear that a lot of people, due to the economic situation and the price of petrol, have decided to look for alternatives, and they have changed their generating sets and other, other machines to now become gas reliant. So could that also be the problem? I do not know. But then again, remember that we import as much as 60% thereabout of LPG consumed in the country. So could that also be a factor yet again? But some have blamed NLC's 2-day strike. What do you make of the situation? How is it affecting your household? Because on a lighter note, maybe we will all have to go back to firewood. Moving on now. So there is the conversation about the suspension of Atiku and others. And of course, this is coming from the FCT minister, Wike, who was interviewed yesterday by Channels TV. Take a listen for yourself.
And that's why I'm calling the National Working Committee. They should, agency, suspend the presidential candidates, suspend people like Abu Nitabor, to suspend all of them from the party. so they can review the party.
What about you? People are calling for your own suspension and even expulsion.
They know that I didn't do anything wrong. They should even congratulate us for fighting for equity, justice, and fairness in this country.
All right, so you heard it for yourself. He's calling for, is asking the National Working Committee to call for the suspension of Lamido, Tambuwal, and of course Atiku for going against the constitution of the party, and that's the only way that they can genuinely call for a reconciliation process in the PDP. What do you make of that, given that the allegations that he did play anti-party politics by not, of course, going with the candidate of the PDP during the presidential elections, and of course accepting the nomination of being a minister by this administration? So what do you make of it? What do you make of that talk? Do you think Wike's arguments hold any water? Because he's saying that according to the constitution, it was time for a southern candidate. It was time for, the South to have produced a candidate in the PDP. But however, that was jettisoned, and that resulted in the crisis the party is currently facing. He said PDP would have taken back power. PDP would have been able to defeat APC in the presidential election if only the PDP had stuck to its zoning formula and had allowed it to tilt to the southern part of the country. So what's your take on that? And then finally, the final big story making the round has got to do with Tinubu saying that he was a very brilliant, I put the very there, but I'm trying to, pin the picture he tried to pin for me, that he was a brilliant student. He was a brilliant student. And he was talking with, I think, Nigerian students in India and trying to explain to them the importance of being well educated. So I'm going to quote him as seen on the dailies. He said, "Good education brought me here. I am happy to stand before you here as the president of Nigeria. I started small. I was a security guard. I was a tutor in school. I was a brilliant student. I joined Deloitte and was trained by one of the biggest accounting firms in the world because of my education. When I joined them, I asked them, do you have branches in Nigeria? And they said, we have a lot of clients that will take you if you want to go home. That's how I got to ExxonMobil and was a very successful accountant, auditor general, and treasurer until I joined politics with a can-do attitude. You can also do it. Do not be despondent in any way. Nigeria is ready to accommodate all. It does not matter which part of Nigeria you are from." So yeah, and why a lot of newspapers and media platforms, even social media accounts, have carried this very story is basically because there is that argument as to whether he indeed attended Chicago State University. Remember, Atiku has a case he has filed in the United States asking that the court should mandate the school to release the certificate of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So what do you make of this statement? Is this some kind of way to, let the opposition know, see, there is no way in front. I really would not spend so much time arguing with you, but I did go to school and I was a brilliant student. Is this some kind of reply? I'd like to hear from you after the commercial break. Please do stay tuned. These are my big stories and I'll be getting your reply. Remember, cooking gas price increases, scarcity looms. There's also the conversation of suspending Atiku, Tambuwal, and Sule Lamido. What do you make of Wike's call? And finally, Tinubu says he was a brilliant student. I am Kalada Kurubatibo, and this is Hard Facts.
say,
Okay. Yeah.
Atiku and others should be suspended.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I think this issue should have been before now. This comment of a suspension should have come up before now.
Okay.
Especially after the primaries. Because the truth is that every time Dokubo who followed knew. That was why they set up a committee. And I think the members of the committee also should be suspended because if indeed this is the decision that it will go this way, and then they sat, and then they turned it to make it open, they have their reasons, I believe. So if my former governor is still talking about the likes of Atiku, I think even members of that committee, as at that time headed by, I think the governor of Benue State, if I'm not wrong, that came up with the decision to throw the contest open should also be suspended because they themselves also went against the decision of the committee. But like they say in my community, only those who walk during the night understand the orders of the spirit.
All right.
So maybe they know the spirit.
All right, thank you very much, Real Gift. I've got Daniel from Imo Gate. Chinke Daniel, welcome on the show. What's on your mind, please?
Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, greetings.
Yes, let me take that off another. Yes, this really
to suspend him.
To expel him. Yes. Now, but talking about party constitution or whatever.
Yeah.
Saying that power would have returned to the South.
Yeah.
I ask for fairness and equity. Why did PDP that time not microzone the presidential candidate to the Southeast?
Okay.
That have never had a shot after Jonathan have had a shot of
Chinke Daniels, I understand where you're going with this, but should it not have first gone to the southern part before then you talk about microzoning? Because you can only talk about micro when you've had a macro. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Now, if Wike had won that presidential, because he came second,
after
Wike winning the presidential ticket, would he have given it to the Southeast?
Interesting.
So, for equity and fairness, he himself cannot tell me that he's standing in the path of integrity and fairness, equity and fairness.
Okay. All right.
Chinke
Daniel, thank you very much. Always a pleasure having you on the show. Azunda from Rumeme. Azunda, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Kalada.
Yeah, Azunda, welcome.
My take is on His Excellency, our ex-governor, calling on the sack of Atiku and the rest of them.
Okay.
I think for me, I concur with that call because they are becoming a source of distraction to PDP. So I support that call. They should expel Atiku and the rest of them. They are becoming distraction in PDP.
How have they become distractions? Just educate me, please.
Because of their doings and some of their utterances.
Okay.
And also for Tinubu, I think no one is not a doubt. He's an educated man.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody can dispute that.
All right then. All right. Thank you very much, Azunda. Remember the big three stories: cooking gas price increases here in Port Harcourt. Secondly, I'm talking about the story I've seen on various dailies. Wike calling for the suspension of Atiku, Tambuwal, and Lamido. Yeah. And also the third one has got to do with Tinubu saying, I was a brilliant student. Dede is calling from Choba. Dede, greetings to you. Welcome on the show.
Good evening, Dr.
Yeah, greetings.
Yes. Wike saying that Atiku and Tambua and others were supposed to expel. To me, it's like the story of the farm owner and the thief. When the farm owner is slow to catch the thief we call the farm owner thief. And our president saying that he was a very brilliant student. Yes, he may be correct, but for me, I think it's time for him to show governance. Because for me, 100 days in office, I haven't seen anything to show his brilliantness. So he should concentrate and convince Nigeria that he can deliver.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Dede. I've got Zion from GRA. Zion, greetings. Welcome on the show.
Good evening to you.
Yeah, Zion.
This cooking gas in River State, honestly speaking, 3 days ago that I got the information, I wasn't happy about that. Because at least we have a gas plant here in River State. We in River State shouldn't be among those going through this pain. I want to use this medium to call on the governor of River State. At least we need to see the commissioner for energy and natural resources. At least he would have been the better person to interface with the marketers and the suppliers of this gas and ask questions, why are my people going through this pain, unnecessary pain? Now that most of us, because the large majority are no longer using kerosene stoves.
All right.
Everybody has swapped to gas. So which I think this commodity should be readily available for us.
All right.
Now, to Governor Nyesom Wike, asking
quickly,
for the
please.
sack of those, the vice president, which is the presidential candidate of the PDP and the rest, I think that is in order. The truth, I want to let them know this. Former Governor Nyesom Wike still remains the brain and the breath of the PDP.
But is it bigger? Is it bigger than the party, like some have asked?
No, but he has violated the party's constitution.
Okay.
He has challenged anybody to sack him if they can, and no one, not even one person, would even dare it. I think now the hunters and the hunted. Let them wait. After the tribunal, they call the Supreme Court matter, they will see the true side that yes, former Governor Nyesom Wike is truly the owner of PDP.
Is he the owner? All right, thank you, Zion. Is he the owner, really? Okafor is calling from Elelenwa. Okafor, greetings to you. Welcome on the show.
Yeah, good afternoon, my good friend.
Yeah, good afternoon, Okafor.
Thank you. I am Okafor, a civilian general.
Civilian general, welcome.
I want to comment on the comment credited to the former governor of River State, that some prominent members of PDP should be suspended.
Yeah.
And my reaction is going to come in this form. There are two women traveling in a bus, and they were quarreling. And what is the cause of their quarrel? About opening and closing of the window. The argument became so heated, the quarrel, that one of the persons who sat beside them called on the conductor, if this window are quarreling, why if this window is open, but she will compare to the money and probably die. The other one said, if this window is closed, she will die of suffocation. So the man quietly told the conductor, said, first, open the window. Let the first one die of pneumonia. And then you close the window. Let the other one die of suffocation so that they shall have peace in the bus.
Goodness.
That's what I mean. Both Atiku or the former governor himself, Wike, all of them, they have, in one way or the other, failed the party.
All right.
And the only way they can have peace in this party is that both Wike and all these people in them, all of them should be suspended if possible dismissed. Then that's the only time.
All right.
All right. All of them be together. Still remember what they are.
All right.
PDP can never be the same again.
All right. Thank you, Okafor. Thank you, Okafor. I've got Benson from HA. Benson, good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Yeah. Hello there. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon to you, Benson.
Dick Benson from HA.
All right.
Canada. I am supporting our former governor about the suspension of these big wigs of PDP. You know the reason?
Yeah, you tell me.
This man should have been suspended and expelled from PDP all the time for causing PDP the pain they passed throughout the electioneering period and even now. I have never seen this type of politics before in Nigeria, apart from now. And why do they allow the governor to do this to PDP? I'm not a member of PDP. Remember, our governor both said that since the inception of PDP, that he has been there, he has never gone out before, that has gone. Do you know the reason?
You tell me.
Because he got all that he was looking for, PDP. He was chairman, he was the chief of staff, he was minister and governor under PDP. Why must he go out? But now that he was looking for something and that is not given to him, he has gone out like others were also looking for what they will do from other political parties. Now, is he a member of PDP or AP? So, whatever that he is doing now is because these people are supposed to do the needful all this while. So he can become the chairman and they send them, no problem. That is for them. Thank you,
all right, thank you very much. I've got Bernard from Rumusi. Bernard, welcome.
Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, greetings.
On the issue of
turn off your radio, please. Can you do that? Thank you very much.
On the issue of the former governor calling for the suspension of Atiku, Tambuwal, and Lamido. My position is that the former governor is right in that call. The reason has been that these three men, if you follow the history of the PDP, in 2015, even before 2015, in 2015 they ganged up and ensured that the PDP never remained in power. Because they wanted Jonathan out. Now, even Atiku went ahead to even boast that he would destroy the PDP. And he left the party, joined APC. They did all they could do and ensure that Jonathan never came back. Towards 2019, I think they came back. And somehow the party speeded the slot of the presidential ticket to the north. Here in Port Harcourt, that primary took place. And Atiku emerged as the winner of the primaries. All northern affairs. Now in let me not even jump in. While we are arguing that it must be that the northerners were supposed to take over from Jonathan, they claimed that it was their turn.
Yeah.
Now, Buhari had done 8 years. And now asking if Atiku and his cohorts, like Tambuwal and Lamido and the rest of them, Babangida Aliyu, who felt that it was the turn of the North as at 2015, and ensured that their party, the PDP, did not continue. Now, 8 years gone, under the leadership of a Northerner, why would these same people have the temerity, the guts to come back and to lay claim to the same presidency?
The argument is, I don't want to stay long on this, but the argument
is that
I need you to summarize, please. I need you to go straight to the point. Bernard, someone is waiting. Other people are waiting to call in as well. So I need you to go straight to the point and tell me what you think. So quickly, please.
So Canada, I support the call for the three men and even more of them, people like Babangida Aliyu and so on and so forth, to be suspended from the party so that the party can move on.
Okay.
As for Wike himself, Wike has been a party man and he has stood his ground and has made that firm and clear. He never played anything against PDP. Here in Rivers State, he supported the party and ensured that the party almost got 100% result here. How many of them can boast that in their own state?
All right.
So that's how you now compare who is a PDP man and who is not a PDP man.
Bernard, thank you. I've got to go at this point. Thank you very much. I've got Chima. Oh my, the call has been lost, or the connection has been lost. So I'm going to dwell on the message platforms, and I'm starting with WhatsApp. Let's see it. This one says, "Good day, Mr. Kalada. So sad that the price of cooking gas has increased. Wike, that is supposed to get suspension from the PDP, is now telling PDP to suspend Atiku. What an irony. You were brilliant in school and Nigeria economy is getting worse under your watch. You removed subsidy without putting any measure in place. Brilliant indeed. Anna with that one. Anna, thank you very much. And let's see. Wike calling for suspension of Atiku and others. The FCT minister always seeking for attention. I think it is time for him to officially defect to the APC and let PDP be. But one thing is for sure, nothing lasts forever, and soon it will soon become. All right, I'm not using that word on radio. But then you went ahead to say, as for Tinubu saying he was a brilliant student, for me, he should have started or stated which schools from primary to tertiary he attended, where he proved his brilliance, and what year he attended those institutions too. The only brilliance I see in him in Nigeria, or is the Nigeria form of political brilliance. Daniel from Uzwoba. Thank you very much, Daniel. But I've got a Daniel calling from Transamadi. Daniel, good afternoon to you.
Galada, good afternoon.
Yeah. Welcome.
The statement of the former governor, President of Atiku, Tamboa, Alamido. For me, what is his reason? What has he done? They are still in PDP. But him now is in PDP APC.
I mean, he said that he took permission from the PDP before he accepted the nomination. So he's not in APC. He's still a PDP member, but just working for the good of Nigeria. That's what he said.
Took the party. So he is a PDP member, which have not gone to APC. Agreed. Working in APC in the federal level. So you can call him PDP APC because that is the party he's working for.
Okay.
Because whatever idea he have, he will bring it and the APC will take the glory. So what I'm saying is very simple. First, I think election is over.
All right.
They say that there are no permanent enemy in the politics. But the politics is saying it looks like there's a permanent enemy. Because this road you are closing today may be a road that we need tomorrow to climb a ladder. And for me, I'm sorry to say, you speak too much.
Right.
You have talked Atiku, the man have never responded to you. Tambo have never responded to you. None of them have one day responded to you directly. You keep on calling their name, keep on talking. It is what in a market square. There are sometimes as a leader, you call yourself to order that it's a time to be silent. Because sometimes this thing you're speaking today may be a very big problem for you in future.
But just to put things in proper context, it was reacting to Dele Momodu's interview on Channels TV, I think 3-4 days ago, and he said, people like this should not be in the party.
If they call you for some certain interviews, you don't have to react.
Okay.
If you think look, I am one supporter of one politician in Nigeria. I'm not an Igbo man. But I support one person because of one attitude. Even the whole of abuse, he will not respond. And that's leadership. That is Labour Party candidate. He will not respond. That is leadership for you.
All right. Then.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniel. I've got Wokioma from Oyibo. Welcome.
Yeah. Should I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening. I want to get your thoughts on this, please.
Okay. Responding to the statement of Mr. President on his claim, I am telling you, I used to tell people that there is a difference between studying ordinarily and studying officially. When you study officially in an institution, a profile will be opened for you that at the end of the year or at the end of the section, then you will have a certificate. Then telling me that he is educated, he was a soldier, he was this, he was that. What we are after is, where is your profile, your certificate that showcase that you are this or you are that. As I am now, I am an ordinary secondary school dropout, but when I tell people, they don't believe it. You understand me? And I study in an interior environment. You understand me? So what we are after, let him showcase all those certificates, all those degrees that he has acquired that showcase that he has studied that, he has studied this. Not telling us that he is brilliant. He was so brilliant. You understand me? So we are not after all these things.
But he has told you. He has already told you. He has. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling in, Wokioma. Let's go back to the WhatsApp platform. Let's see this one. Let's see. Greetings, Kalada. On the scarcity of cooking gas, I think many Nigerians have wickedness and greed ingrained in them. These set of people are mostly waiting for any slight opportunity to rape Nigerians, but God will help Nigeria to overcome all of them. On Tinubu's address to Nigerians in India, by records and trade, President Tinubu is indeed a brilliant person. Unfortunately, there are people in the country who have fixated mindset and uncontrollably desperate to destroy people's reputation for their clandestine socio-economic and political quest. Former Governor Wike is really a political comedian who seeks attention all the times. Atiku and co are more politically vast than Chief Wike in Nigerian politics. Fiaga with that one. But I've got Chima calling back from Eliozu. Chima, welcome. Let's get your thoughts. Please kindly turn off your radio set.
Kalada, good afternoon.
Yeah, welcome.
Yes, Kalada, the statement made by the former governor, I think it's more or less try to tell to remove a landlord from his house. Because when it comes to PDP, Atiku Abubakar is the grandfather of PDP. That's nothing to ever remove him in PDP. He came to River State here, even with the money the former governor spent to be able to win a primary when he was supporting Tambo. Atiku didn't win. Even when they went to primary Abuja, Atiku didn't win him. So when it comes to PDP, Atiku is number one. You understand? He talked about in PDP the position he held. If he never had a position to hold that position, he would have remained effective.
Chima, the line is not clear enough. There is no clarity, and I can barely make out what you're saying.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, so go ahead quickly. I've got you standing by. Oh, sorry, Chima. I'm very sorry. I've got to let you go. Jude from Amuma, welcome. What's on your mind, please?
Yeah, the call by Governor Wike for Atiku and Tamboa to be suspended. It serves the party right. That call serves the party PDP right. What they should have done long time ago, suspending Wike or even expelling him for anti-party activities. Their party constitution holds that. But they kept long and telling us that they do not want to get distracted. But Wike is a very smart guy. It's now that he's going to distract them more. That's what he's planning to do.
Okay.
He has all the money in the world to throw around. So he's going to use that money now, buy some people in PDP that will give him the support.
Why do you think so? Why do you think so, Jude? Why are you going in this line of thought?
Yeah, you see, I said they should have done that suspension expulsion long time ago.
Yeah.
Now, they said they don't want to get distracted. Why I say he's smart. He knows the area they are in now with the election tribunal or the Supreme Court, and he knows he can distract them more or better now.
What use will the distraction be? That's what I'm asking. I mean, we don't have elections around the corner.
They don't want to get distracted. If he goes to the party and gets some people to his side, who will now say or echo what he has said, Tamboa, Atiku, they said they should be suspended, and now get the party divided. Will that not cause more distraction to what they are facing or to what they are going to do? So that's on that area. On the area of price of gas going higher in River State, I heard somebody say, gas plant, okay, we get gas here in River State. Yes, the gas that is being fled from the flow stations. When I watched the business summit in Anambra yesterday, I said, yeah, Anambra state government or governor is in that right direction, trying to industrialize Anambra. Our governor seems full well. I know people say he's doing a lot. He's into infrastructure, continuity, going to build more bridges and build more roads. Now, the human capital development. If Rivers people or teeming unemployed Rivers people are employed, that would have done better or is going to do better. Now, let me tell you, if we have a gas plant or gas gathering plant, the gas that is being flowed from the flow stations will be gathered in the reservoir there. And we can now utilize all that for industrial gas use.
Okay.
Why would you not be thinking in industrializing River State? I saw Chinese yesterday.
But remember, Jude, I've got to go now. But remember that oil and gas is in the jurisdiction of the federal government. I understand we could make investments therein. But then I needed to point out that it is in the jurisdiction of the federal government. What do I know? Moving on. This one says, good afternoon, Kalada. My problem with the news of increase in the price of cooking gas is that the media only tells us about the price increase and will never tell us about the price decrease. The price of 12.5 kg of cooking gas came down from about 12k earlier this year to about 7k recently, but we did not hear it from the media. There is no subsidy on cooking gas, so the price should fluctuate. Influence from Port Harcourt. But Influence, you're right. We did carry that story. It was part of my big stories. I mentioned it and I talked about it. And I know that I think Sam also talked about it. So I do not know where you're getting that from. But this one says suspension galore. I agree that there should be suspension in the PDP, but not those Governor Wike nominated for suspension. When Governor Dave Umahi left the PDP, he pointed finger to Governor Wike inferring, I beg your pardon, that Governor Wike was scheming to deprive the Southeast from the zoning arrangements. Then, when Uche Secondus was ousted, Governor Umahi's conspiracy theory became apparent that Governor Wike had 2023 ambition. Remember, at the COVID-19 time, no party was even contemplating open contest. In fact, the debate was even if the APC would follow the PDP to zone it to the Southeast, which we basically believed the PDP would do. If Secondus remained as chairman, the South automatically zoned out and Secondus ouster. But does the PDP have any facts to nail on Governor Wike enough to use in suspending him? Michael from Okrika is asking. This one says, good afternoon it is. The way and manners of PDP members are playing politics in Rivers State is nothing to write home about. How can you be a political or be in a political party and be playing against your party? Anybody found guilty should be suspended and, if possible, expelled from the party. Owanate Clinton West. Wike wants Atiku and Tambuwal suspended. Wike just wants to be noticed. Let him go and sleep. Prince from Omagwa. But this one says people shouldn't be myopic in understanding. What would sorry, I'm trying to understand what you wrote here. Would Wike have supported a southern presidency if he was giving VP slots to Atiku? He's only interested in his I can't use that word. He now claims of supporting Tinubu, whom he continued denying of campaigning for till election day. Victor from Igbema. I do not understand the premise at which that suspension call was made. Based on what we heard, Atiku agreed for the demand for the southern Nigeria presidential zoning, but disagreed for it to go to the south-south region, which the former governor wanted. But Atiku refused, reason being that the south-south has already produced a president in the name of GEJ. So I think this is the genesis of the PDP disagreement. Okay, all right then. I'm almost out of time. It's time for me to go for the business news. But before I do, this one says Tinubu might be brilliant in school, but not in economy strategy. Wike calling for suspension of Atiku and the rest is likened to when a hunter being haunted, it should also be suspended. When you spend enemy, it will attack you in the future. Emmanuel with that one. Don Williams said, not being first is always best. Dan Seal said, everything that glitters is not gold. Fighting the whole community because of today's vantage position is not the best. Tread with caution because each Echi di Ime, but Tamboa should return our 500 million naira before he will be suspended in Buck. John Peters with that one. And that's too much that I can take. It's time for the business news. But I think I'll take this one from DK. Good evening. Success always comes with hubris. The end is better than the beginning. Let Wike continue to talk as if, okay, I can use that word on radio. I've got to go now. The business news, and after that, more conversations. To stay tuned.